This video is going to show you how to multiply a two-digit number by a two-digit number, but in fourth grade our standard is more than that. We have to be able to explain how to do two-digit by two-digit multiplication using either area models, rectangular arrays, or equations. So I'm going to show you two different ways that the book shows us how to do that. The first way is an area model. And so if we have 27 times 21, what I'm going to do is break down both of these numbers into expanded form. And so 27 is going to break down to 20 plus 7. So 20 plus 7. And 21 is going to break down to 20 plus 1. And I broke them down this way because I'm going to create my area model. I'm going to try to make it big enough. And so I should have 4 boxes because both of these numbers break into tens and ones when they're broken into expanded form. So in this box I'm going to multiply 2 tens times 2 tens, or 20 times 20. So 2 tens times 2 tens, or 20 times 20. And so that's going to be 4 hundreds or 400. The next box I'm going to multiply is 2 tens times 7 ones, or 20 times 7. So I would get either 14 tens, or that's really 140. The next box I'm going to multiply is 2 tens times 1 1, or 20 times 1. And so that's still going to be 2 tens, or 20. The last box I'm going to multiply is 7 ones times 1 1, and that's the same as 7 times 1, or 7 ones, or just 7. The last piece that I have to do with this area model is I need to add up all the partial products. So that's 400, 140, 20, and 7. I like to start with the lowest number on top, so that way I can make sure they are lined up correctly. But I have a 7, and then so the next one would be 20, and then the next one would be 140, and then the last one would be 400. So we have to make sure that the places are lined up. Once I have that, then I can add them. 7 plus 3 zeros is 7, 2 plus 4 is 6, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So our final answer should be 567. So if our kids can make this area model and they can explain what's going on inside of these boxes and they can add them up, then as a fourth grader they can multiply a two-digit number by a two-digit number. So we aren't looking for the procedure. As you can tell, there's no regrouping here. We're working on, can they explain what two-digit by two-digit multiplication is by using a model. The next way I'm going to show you is partial products, and this would be using an equation to solve your problem. So if I had the problem 37 times 23, I would write it, the book shows like this: 37 times 23. I add a little piece in, we call it multiplication wrestling, just because I think it helps the students understand what they need to multiply together, or at least it helps them remember. So the first thing, once again, is we're going to break these two numbers down into expanded form. And so 37 would break apart into 30 plus 7, and also 20 plus 3. I would say that this is a team, and this is also a team, and each wrestler on each team has to wrestle each wrestler on the opposite team. However, they cannot wrestle each other if they are on the same team. So that would mean that 20 has to wrestle 30, and 20 has to wrestle 7. Then also 3 has to wrestle 7, and 3 has to also wrestle 30. And so the book leaves that part out. I like to add it just because I think the kids remember that a little bit. But if I did partial products here, the first thing I would do is I would multiply 3 ones times 7 ones. So that's the same as 3 times 7, and I would get 21. The next thing I would do is I'd multiply 3 ones times 3 tens, which would be 3 times 30. And that would be 90. The next thing I'm going to do is now move on to my tens, the bottom tens place, so I would multiply 2 tens times 7 ones, so that is 20 times 7, which is 140. And then the last piece, I'm going to multiply both of the tens, so 2 tens times 3 tens, so 20 times 30. And so the students know also, if they multiply 2 times 3, that's 6. I have 2 zeros in my factors, so my product is going to move 2 places to the left. So this is really 600. So now when I add, these are all partial products, when I add these partial products together, I'm going to get 1 plus 3 zeros is 1, 2 plus 9 is 11, plus 4 is 15, and I regroup. And 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 6 is 8. So our answer to 37 times 23 equals 851. So this piece right here is explaining 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication by the use of equations, which is also part of the standard. So as you can see, none of this is the process that we probably learned as parents when we were students, but what we're asking our students to do now is to be able to explain the process of multiplication. And so if they can do this equation, and if they can make an area model to multiply, that's the explanation piece that we need. So hopefully this video helps with explaining the multiplication, and you can always look in the book for more examples.